Hi, book fanatics, book lovers, whoever you are at home. Welcome to Books and Biographies 101. My name is Mishak Mahai, aka they call me the bookworm. So I'm back with another video, guys. If you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe. Join the family of readers. Join the family of people who listen to books so that they can get something that can help them in their life. You can be part of them. You can be part of those who read to understand and move on to be competitive in the real world. But either way, because you're here, it's because you want to get purpose in life. You want to have passion for something, and one of them is reading books. And one of them is getting the message that is found in books. Okay, cool. Today's video is on a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It sounds like something that is not that important, but guys, relax. This is about human relations. The most important thing ever. You can have all the degrees, you can have all the knowledge, you can have all the skills, you can have all the experiences you can ever want to. But if you don't know how to deal with people, if you don't know how to handle people, if you don't know how to interact with people, to talk to people, people are not gonna like you, and you're most likely to become the opposite of what you expect. So in this book, Dale Carnegie was actually a teacher of public speaking. He was teaching business guys about public speaking. So he realized along the way that these guys really need to deal with people. And he also needed to skills on how to deal with people because he was working with people. So the research was done, and the results were a lot of people, adult people, they value their health at the pinnacle. Second of all, they value how to handle people and win them to their way of thinking. So Dale Carnegie went on to do the research on ways on how to deal with people, how to handle people and win people to your own way of thinking. And he used those principles, those strategies in his classes of public speaking, teaching his students, his business giants who were his students, about these things of public human relations. And they were also practiced and proven to be very good in handling people. So guys, there are few annotations that I have. I'm not gonna tell you everything that I found in the book, but I wish I could tell you everything. I could literally tell you everything because there's a lot to learn from this book. It's a very old book, and I'm concerned. Why do over 90% of us act so differently from these simple things? Okay guys, let's get to them so that you understand also what I'm talking about. The first of them all is that don't criticize, don't condemn, don't complain. Why? Because every time you criticize, people are fighting back. Because people are defending their egos, guys. We all have egos. Every time you condemn someone, every time you criticize someone, they want to defend their egos. Every time people have reasons why they did something. Even if it's wrong or right, they always have reasons. And if you criticize them, they are more likely to criticize you back. So instead of you criticizing that person, find something that the person is doing good. Find something that is impressive about that person and compliment it. Because a lot of people focus on what they get compliments on. Another one is that give honest and sincere appreciation. If I have to say it this way, guys, according to Dale Carnegie, He says, there is one thing except food and sleep and other cravings that people crave the most, as the feeling of importance. People want to be important. Everywhere they go, they want to feel that feeling of importance. And that feeling of importance comes through appreciations. By sincere appreciations, I mean, don't just appreciate people even if it's not real. Don't talk about things that are not real about them. Talk genuinely about the things that they are doing good. Appreciate them for who they are, and they will value you back for the fact that you just value them. The other one is that smile, guys. Smile. Smile is the facial expression that you can wear all time, and it welcomes people. It's not just a facial expression only, guys, because I learned from this book that even the tone of your voice changes when you smile, unlike when you're normal, and also unlike when you're angry. There's a different tone of voice. That's why other companies, consultant companies, that their people are always on the phones, they require them to smile when they're answering calls of the clients, because the tone of the voice when you smile, it's different and it's welcoming. Another one is that this is something that I was not expecting at all, is that the person's name to that person is the sweetest and important sound in any language. So this means that when you call people by their real names, it's very interesting to them, unlike calling them sir, madam, or in any other form that you used to call them. So try it, guys. Try it at home. Try calling those people who feel like they are not noticed by you by their names, and see the difference in facial expression. Another one is that be a good listener. Encourage people to talk about themselves, unlike you talking to them about yourself. Because in most cases, people want to talk about themselves, unlike listening to you talking about yourself. I don't know if it makes sense, but it's applicable. A lot of people get annoyed when you always talk about yourself. Let them talk about themselves. Let them feel pride about talking about themselves, of which it makes them value you more, because you're giving them an ear. You're listening to them, and when you're listening to them attentively, listening to what they are saying, flowing with what they are saying, maybe they're telling you a story or something, flowing with what they're saying, it actually works better than expressing yourself. The other one is that always talk in terms of the other person's interest. So what this means is that instead of you talking about your experiences, instead of you talking about how long have you been doing what you're doing, instead of you talking about what benefits you, start talking about what benefits the next person that you're talking to. Let's say if I am a seller and you are a customer, I shouldn't be talking about my experiences in selling. Shouldn't be talking about me having 10 years in selling and other stuff. I should be talking about what you're going to benefit from the product that I'm selling. Another one is that begin in a friendly way. So this is a very interesting skill that people can use in order to gain a lot of attention, in more especially in business cases. Let's take an example. When you're visiting a certain person, it's the first time you visit that person, but you want to sell your business to that person. Instead of you keeping it real professional, try to start by complimenting what you see. Try to start by warming up that person to become comfortable talking to you. Because once you achieve that, everything will flow nicely. The other one is that dramatize your ideas. Because in adding action to what you're saying, you actually gain a lot of attention, unlike just doing it ordinarily by saying it. So Let's say, for example, you want to sell something to someone, and maybe this thing, it makes noises. You can assimilate the kind of noises that it makes, just to add a little bit of drama to what you're trying to do, so that people gain more attention. Because if you're just saying it, people are listening. Some people are listening and not listening at the same time. It happens. We all know. They're listening and not listening. They don't get the details, but when you dramatize what you're saying, they get the details of what you say. The other one is that talk about your own mistakes before criticizing the other person. This is very important, because if you just go directly by telling them, okay, you're wrong here, you're wrong here, you're wrong here, it becomes offensive in a way, even if it's in a job. Because if you're doing something wrong, you have to be told you're doing something wrong, so that you change it and do the right thing. But if the approach is different, it can actually give different results. Like, for example, before I say you're doing this wrong, maybe I might start by saying, I've been in the same situation, I've done a lot of wrong things, and I know I'm not different to you at all by doing this. And then I start telling you what you can actually do to improve. It actually comes as not offensive, unlike a direct one, even if I'm not trying to offend you, even if I'm direct. But the thing is, we are emotional people. For the fact that you're telling me that I'm doing something wrong, even if I know it's true, but I get offended. But when you're saying it differently, you're coming up with a twist of telling me that you're also not perfect. So it comes to me as something like, okay, we have a mutual relationship here. We're all not perfect. So I'm ready to improve according to how you're saying it. The other one is that let the other person save face. This really occurs when, let's say, another person made a really big mistake and they expect you to be angry at them. So instead of you being angry at them, try to understand that people make mistakes. No one is perfect. And do the opposite of what they are expecting. You can really compliment them on how much they tried to make that happen. You can really tell them that mistakes do happen. You can change the situation and give that person confidence to try again, instead of you shouting at them and reducing the confidence that they have. The last one is that give another person a fine repetition to live up to. This really happens, and it happens always. Like, for example, if somebody tells me they like something about me, maybe they say, okay, my guy, I like the way you dress. In most cases, I make sure that I dress nice, not to disappoint that guy, because that guy gave me a repetition that I should live up to. So if you are working with people, always notice that thing that they're doing different. Compliment them. Make sure you solidify that thing to make that person live up to that repetition. If somebody is working for you and one day they do a very great job, make sure you solidify that thing. Praise them. Make sure that they really get what you say, so that next time they don't disappoint you on that thing. They'll always make sure to keep up with the work that they are doing, or even do more than that. The overall philosophy of this book is that knowing how to work with people, winning people to your own way of thinking, it's actually a golden rule, unlike having any other things like degrees, like experiences and other stuff, and being knowledgeable in other things. Because I'm taking my example from Charles M. Schwab. So this guy, he was actually a president of a steel industry, but he didn't actually know much about steel more than his own employees. So what he had was the skill of dealing people, managing people, which made him to be the highest paid person in that steel industry. And that's it, guys. I'll share the PDF version in the description box below. And if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, guys. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And other than that, I'll see you in the next video coming soon. Peace out.